Well, what you just said around education, I've seen this recently with all of the crazy developments happening in AI. I mean, you can basically ask ChatGPT, make me a lesson plan for learning physics taught by Richard Feynman or Albert Einstein. We've seen the Midjourney and Dolly 2 spit out incredibly accurate images like the Pope in the jacket that sort of fooled everyone. But text to video is coming. I mean, it's very rudimentary at the moment, but give it a couple of years and you will have education that is completely tailored to what you want and the way you want to learn, but being taught by the most interesting and best teachers in the world to make it completely engaging for the younger generation. Because let's face it, you and me grew up in a boring classroom staring at, a book or maybe a slide or something. And if we did have some educational content in a video, it was probably pretty boring and incredibly cheesy. Nowadays, they'll be able to, I have a 3-year-old son. I can only imagine the type of education he is going to get and that he's already getting. Even the content that he watches on YouTube. I mean, yeah, we had Sesame Street and stuff like that, but the stuff they have now is amazing. Wait until AI is tailoring that completely to your own learning style and what actually interests you. And I think that's completely mind-blowing.
And imagine someone that, for example, has autism and requires a completely different way to be thought. So imagine someone that does not easily focus, so dyslexia or whatever. And the whole work today that is for the traditional education to, keep this kids interested at the same way that maybe the average kids are interested. You will be able to, think about out of average, because we're all unique. And with AI learning continuously, how do we better learn? I think it's very powerful when it comes to education, because that could, as you mentioned, tailor exactly the way I learn the best. Because there are people that learn the best by reading, there are people that learn the best by writing or watching something. So imagine like really tailoring something that is made for me on the way that I better learn and based on my interests. So, yeah.
Exactly. I mean, it's not necessarily just education. It can also be onboarding. And I have a friend who's building an AI company right now, working with a few really huge organizations that are going to have to hire quite literally hundreds of thousands of people over the next couple of years. How do you onboard, train, and enable people at this level of scale, but do it in a personalized manner? It's incredibly difficult. I mean, if I think about, I've worked for big corporates all my life, and the unbelievably boring courses I've had to do for, all the sort of stuff that they need you to know, and you're clicking through and you're listening to these cheesy voices, that's not productive. Whereas what my friend Syke is trying to do is create a digital world, a metaverse, where you can have an immersive experience to learn and, get guided by an AI avatar who will literally be your tutor. And like we talked about earlier, I mean, kids are already going on and, well, number one, they're using ChatGPT to cheat on their essays, which is, we're going to have to change for that. But number two, they're like, okay, I don't understand this concept. Explain it to me. Take the persona of, a history professor or a physics professor and teach it to me. And that is amazing. So when that starts to become more mainstream, the level of learning and an education that we're going to be able to pack in and be so much more productive is really going to go sky high.
I agree, 100%. Excited for what the future has for us.